Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rants YouTube channel. Time to cover No Mercy, and boy, do I got a lot to cover. Now, when we cover these PLEs, I like to go off of my predictions. So, the first match, we had Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. Now, the last match they had, Josh Briggs won, and I said it's the second time they're not going to have Josh Briggs beat Javon Evans again. Not with the future potential Javon Evans has, and not for the momentum Javon Evans actually has as well. Josh Briggs has gained more momentum and more respect as a wrestler in this solos feud with Javon Evans. He's improved on the mic, he's improved in the ring, and him losing would not hurt. And I'm probably overthinking this way too politically about who wins and who loses. But in my opinion, I strongly agreed with the fact that Javon Evans should win. And what happened? Javon Evans won. He won. And I was right. So 1-0, that was a great match as well. And it proved the point Josh Briggs has been saying, is that you all boo me and say that I'm not welcome and you want me to go away, but by the end of all my matches, you're chatting this is awesome. And it's facts, because it happens. Anyways, the second match out was the Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruka, but not defending that belt, defending the Women's Speed title against what was supposed to be Lainey Reed, who apparently is now injured, and got replaced. And obviously, with it being Sol Ruka versus Lainey Reed, I predicted Sol Ruka to retain the title. However, the replacement was Jada Parker. Literally couldn't be a harder opponent. I mean, it could be Jordan Grace or Blake Monroe, but they are booked. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh shit, I could get this wrong. Jada Parker could win this match, you know, because it's Jada Parker. But then obviously I would not accept defeat on that because I didn't predict Jada Parker to be in this match. And thankfully, my prediction remained the same. It was Sol Ruka, and it was actually thanks to Lash Legend getting involved and Zarya having Sol Ruka's back that Zarya, she went for Jada Parker but took out Lash Legend, and it provided enough distraction so that Sol Ruka could hit the Soul Snatcher on Jada Parker. But if this match had been Jada Parker and Sol Ruka in hindsight, and we were building up to that match, honestly, I would have picked Jada Parker. But I'm glad Sol Ruka retained. What a match. That's putting the Speed title on the map. Getting two of your best talent and having them fight out for the title. Now, what I'm wondering is, where's the men's Speed title? Has that been retired? Or we're going to get that on NXT? From my understanding, the last champion was El Grande Americano. So, is he going to come to NXT and defend it? Were we just having the women's mini tournament first, and now we're going to leave that for a bit while we have the men's mini tournament? Because I'm down. I'm down. I like the fact that we're getting main roster superstar, NXT superstar, TNA superstar, and AAA superstar. It makes perfect sense. And if El Grande Americano is the champion, he suits all those. I mean, definitely AAA, definitely main roster, and it could work. And I'm here for it. So let's do the men's title as well. Now, that leaves me 2-0 up in the predictions. The next match was the Weaponized Steel Cage match. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, feud of the century. I predicted that Blake Monroe was going to turn on Jordan Grace, and it happened. They had their first match, and I predicted that Blake Monroe would get the win, and she did. Now it's the second match, and I predicted that Jordan Grace would get the win because they want the trilogy. They want this feud to continue, and it's not just going to go 2-0 Blake Monroe over such a talent like Jordan Grace, former TNA Knockouts champion. Never before seen powerhouse of a woman like Jordan Grace. She was not going to lose twice to Blake Monroe, and boy was I right, and boy was it a banger. I mean, I like how the kendo sticks and the chairs were pink. Obviously, it was Blake Monroe themed. That wasn't just because it was women. Don't get it confused. I like how Blake Monroe cut Jordan Grace's hair. I like how instead of using thumbtacks or Lego or glass, they used diamonds. I mean, pretty fair enough. The match was brutal, and there was some brutal spots in there. I mean, there was a Boston Crab over a steel chair. There was lots of cool shit, and I mean, it ended with a we'll call it what Sheamus calls it, the white noise through the table, and it was Jordan Grace with the win. Puts me 3-0 up in predictions. And what I'm wondering now is, what's Jordan Grace going to do with her hair? Is she going to go bald? Is she going to go short hair? Is she going to do a bit of Becky Lynch and have a bit of a weird style? I'd like to say this is maybe ingenious, but this is probably what I would do in this situation. Is Blake Monroe is advertised as being glamorous and obviously promotes her looks quite a lot. Well, since Jordan Grace got her hair cut in this match, is the final match going to be a hair versus hair? I don't know, but if it happens, just know I said it. Just know I said it, okay? Yeah. So that puts me 3-0 up in predictions, and the next match was pretty easy to predict. Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights for the North American Championship. Now, obviously, this is no discredit to Tavion Heights, incredible talent, and he was, before going in this match, he was 2-0 against Ethan Page in one-on-one action. I mean, Ethan Page and Chelsea Green beat Tyra May Steele and Tavion Heights, but that was a tag team match. When they went one-on-one, they went one-on-one in a flag match. Tavion Heights won. That was a bit of an obvious one for the US title. And then Tavion Heights tapped out Ethan Page in 5 seconds when he pretended to be Dr. Wagner Jr. And now I did think this would discredit the win a bit of Ethan Page, because not only has Tavion Heights already beat him, he beat him again in embarrassing fashion. But again, in this match, I mean, Ethan Page pretty much dominated him, and it didn't take anything away from Ethan Page, really, so I'm glad it didn't. And it was actually a good build-up now, looking back at it. But, yeah, Ethan Page retained. I had no problem with it. I would agree that Ethan Page should retain. I just also agreed that Tavion Heights, a young talent who needs some star power behind him, who's recently went solo, needs something like this, needs a high-stake matchup to put him on the map, so that next time he appears, and it's not in a title match, people understand he's some serious business, you know. Beating the North American champion twice is nothing to be ashamed of, and losing this match was how it was supposed to be. And yeah, I'm not going to complain. That was put me 4-0 up in predictions. Now this is where it started to go downhill from here, because leading into this matchup, I said, look, JC Jane originally we all thought was going to be a transitional champion, given that, you know, before she won that NXT title, she was virtually less than a mid-carder. Not like to offend her or nothing, but like that's how she'd been booked. She'd been booked in factions since she got there, you know, and there'd be no real big victory. So that victory, not only over Stephanie Vaquer, but for the women's title, was insane. So we thought it was not going to last that long. And she's alluded to this, and she's used this as momentum in her storytelling. But she's had a longer reign than we anticipated. I mean, she defended against Jordan Grace, against many people, and successfully. And she's kept the title for a couple months now. And I don't know why, I had a feeling that Lola Vice was going to win that triple threat match at Heatwave when Jada Parker and who else was in it? I think it was Kalani Jordan. When Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan win it, or was it Last Legend? It was one of them two. I had a feeling, and there was no reason to have that feeling, but I had it, and it happened. And then in the whole build-up to this, while JC Jane's been distracted and NXT have been trying to build up Lola Vice's story, I've just had this feeling that Lola Vice was going to win. So I made that my prediction, was that Lola Vice was going to be the new champion, because JC Jane's had long enough as champion, especially for what we thought her reign was going to be. It exceeded expectations, and to hand the title over now would be absolutely fine. And I was wrong. And it was a great match. Potentially match of the night, which is hard because we've got Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe, which was a great match. Which again, the women's matches in WWE are killing it right now. We're talking all three brands. They're just killing it, right? Even though on SmackDown, it's literally Tiffany Stratton, Jay Cargill and Nia Jax. But anyways, they're killing it, right? And yeah, I mean, the storytelling in the match was great. Fallon Henley got sent away, and then there was a masked person who kicked Lola Vice, and then the victory was stolen. It was a hard-fought battle in Lola Vice's hometown, where JC Jane was dominating most of the match, but Lola Vice had her moments of coming back to life when the fans would root for her, and when it looked like Lola Vice had the momentum and she rolled to the outside, that masked person came along and took her out, and then JC Jane was able to capitalise and win. So it's a bit sad for the family, for her, and for the city, that not only did she get dominated during the match, but also lost. So it wasn't great. Now here's my theory: who's behind the mask? Well, Fallon Henley got sent out. It could be Fallon Henley. No, it's Jasmine Nix. I mean, Jasmine Nix randomly gets attacked on NXT, and then the pair of them just go, "Man, we don't care about her anymore." And that's the lowest form of heel turn. But what was it really? No, it was deceiving. It was deception. It was making a plan, making Lola Vice think Jasmine Nix is out the equation, but she's not. Jasmine Nix is the backup, so that when Fallon Henley's gone and distracted the referee, Jasmine Nix can come and take out Lola Vice and help JC Jane win. Come on, use my brain. And if it doesn't get revealed that that's her on NXT, then fine, fair enough. But look, when it is Jasmine Nix, you know where to go. You know who predicted it. You know who said it, right? Anyway, so that made me 4-1, which I can take one. It's when there's more than one that I get wrong that really hurts my soul. In the main event, Obafemi, Ricky Saints. Now, this seemed like a layup. This seemed like an alley-oop. This seemed like easy to predict. I mean, Obafemi has been NXT champion since January, the second longest reigning champion currently, other than Tiffany Stratton. And this was his first defense against Ricky Saints. Now, Obafemi, since having that title, has defended in multiple big matches, multiple times against Trick Williams, multiple times against Javon Evans, even in a triple threat match. He's defended against Moose, he's defended against Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura, one-on-one and in triple threat matches. He's defended against Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. And for a first defense against Ricky Saints, I did not think Obafemi would lose that title. Given that Ricky Saints has been in the company for about 6 months, already had a North American title run, and lost that within like a month or two. It seemed like they were fast-tracking Ricky Saints, but I did not think with as short of a build-up as it was, even though like it was a full 4 weeks, it was a full month, and he earned the opportunity at Heatwave. It wasn't like a just randomly put-together match, but it was a short build-up, you know. This seemed like a surprise for me, and I really did think Obafemi would retain. And even if Ricky Saints was to take the title off of Obafemi, it would not be at the first shot. So I'm surprised by this, and I am obviously disappointed because I love Obafemi as champion. He's an incredible talent and deserves to be the champion. But I'm not bummed out about it because while I don't like Ricky Saints as much as I like Obafemi, I recognise the talent and I recognise the potential, obviously. And this is the fun part about wrestling. This is what wrestling should be, an unpredictable win. And we're not talking so unpredictable that we predict it, like, oh my God, John Cena turning heel. I mean, a lot of us saw it coming in the moment. I didn't, but like a lot of us thought of it. No one actually thought of Ricky Saints winning the title. Not that it's something that's so out there, but like everyone would just assume that Obafemi was going to retain the title. So no one really thought, oh, he has a screamer of a prediction. Ricky Saints wins the title. That's what I like. It's not meant to be predictable. It's meant to look like two people are fighting and anyone could win. And that's what happened. Two men fought, and the whole time I thought, Obafemi, he's going to retain. And he didn't. Ricky Saints took the title. I'm happy for Ricky Saints. And I hope what this means for Obafemi as he goes up to the main roster. If they continue having Obafemi on NXT without the title, I'm not going to get behind it, honestly. Maybe keep him there for another couple of weeks while he gets another shot at the title, you know, tries a rematch, and then when he feels, go to the main roster. But let's not have him slow cooking there like Trick Williams, because Trick Williams already needed to be up there on the main roster, and Obafemi's next. And Javon Evans at some point, please. I mean, Javon Evans could be in NXT for a little more, and I'm not mad at that because he's got time to win the North American title and the NXT title, so I'm here for it. Whereas Trick Williams, Obafemi, they've done all they need to do. Get them up to that main roster now then. But yeah, that was my reaction to NXT No Mercy. It took me days to watch, I know, but just allow me. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.